COVID-19 has very quickly transformed the workplace, and the rapid shift to virtual teams creates a new set of psychological threats and challenges that need to be managed in order to keep employees engaged and productive. In this short video, we identify psychological pressures as well as 3 steps you can take to help manage the psychological health and resilience of your team. Let's consider, for example, a team of 6 people, several of whom are working remotely. Many organizations are experiencing an environment with lots of potential for self-reinforcing psychological threats that impact engagement and well-being, blind spots that hurt collaboration and decision-making quality, and barriers that make achieving success unnecessarily difficult. In the same environment, however, there are also many opportunities to identify and remove these threats, blind spots, and barriers in order to keep your team engaged and performing at a high level. At first, the flexibility of hybrid work environments, or even moving entire teams to working from home, can seem to meet social distancing requirements and also help employees meet family commitments. However, these work environments have the potential to introduce new types of pressure that, if not well managed, inhibit collaboration, reduce the quality of decision-making, undercut team effectiveness, and increase frustration, which in turn compounds the psychological pressures that impact your team. In other words, many organizations are facing changes to their work environments with lots of potential to generate negative, reinforcing loops, blind spots, and barriers. Beating COVID-19 requires social isolation, and as a result, the world has faced the rapid transition of an entire workforce to virtual work and work from home. These changes to our work environment, workflows, social connections, and processes have, in many cases, led to a sense of isolation, uncertainty, ambiguity, and other change-related stressors. Our brains do not like this. Our brains react to the pain resulting from the psychological threat. We are social creatures, and this social isolation would be bad enough on its own. Now, if we add in the threat presented by COVID-19, we add even more uncertainty, real danger, commodity shortages, and threats to our jobs and financial security. We add to that social pain. Our brains respond explicitly to these psychological threats in a number of ways. We create human-oriented barriers such as parochialism, and system-oriented barriers by way of burdensome processes, policies, and procedures. These barriers make matters even worse by introducing yet more ambiguity and frustrations. Our brains respond by being less focused, more distracted, with lower positivity and morale. This in turn leads to poorer decision-making, a drop in work quality, and decreased productivity. Further compounding the issue, this results in even more stressors. As you can see, these pressures, if left alone, build upon one another, and without action, the situation can continually worsen and become more severe. So what can we do about this? 3 key things. First, identify your own and your team members' orientation to their new work environment, as well as their tolerance of uncertainty and ambiguity. Second, identify and remove natural blind spots that undercut decision-making and collaboration. Third, identify and remove any organizational or psychological barriers that get in the way. Let's look at these 3 in a little more detail. Number 1. For each team member, you can conduct an assessment of what we call their threat characteristics. This will help each person identify and understand how they react to this new environment and give them some tools to deal with the stress created from the changes. Number 2, systemically address and correct what we call blind spots that are common to remote workforces in order to minimize any negative impact on quality of work, collaboration, and decision-making. Number 3, Identify psychological and systemic barriers that harm operational efficiency, and where possible, remove them. These are the 3 key leverage points where managers can intervene, but they can also make matters worse if they do not offer an effective response. Interested in learning how to ensure that your response is effective? Please contact Team Health at nsiteam.com.